What if I told you one of the fastest growing cities in all of San Diego was actually located in the northern side of San Diego? That's right, it's gonna be San Marcos, California. And we're gonna do a few things for you guys in this video, but we're really gonna break it down and dissect San Marcos to give you a better idea of what it's actually like living there. And we're gonna do a few things, but we're gonna start off by hopping on the maps, kind of walking you around. We're gonna talk about the cost of living, some of the pros and cons, and we're also going to actually get out and show you these neighborhoods to give you a better feel for them. And last but not least, we're not done. We're gonna talk about why and how San Marcos is changing and what the future is gonna look like and why so many of you guys are searching this place and actually moving there. So let's get after it now. Hey guys, welcome back. If this is your first time here and you like to know everything there is to know about living right here in San Diego, make sure you give that subscribe button a little tap down below. My name is Nick and you guys are reaching out very, very often and we absolutely love helping you guys. So if you're thinking about making a move here in a week, a month, or even a year, just shoot us a text, shoot us an email, or just straight up give us a call so we can help you save a lot of time and just help you make a smooth move right here to possibly San Marcos if you're watching this video right now. Like I said, San Marcos has been a place that a lot of people have been searching, a lot of people are moving to, and it's all for a lot of great reasons. But there's also a few things that I want to share with you guys that you guys might not like. So I just want to break this all down for you. And as a person that lived there for a good 8 years of my life, high school, and then a little bit after high school, I've seen this place kind of change a lot. So there's a lot of things to really like about it. But like I said, some things that you're really going to want to know. But let's start off by hopping in the maps and showing you a couple things. Okay, so let's dive into America's finest city, which I have San Diego pulled up right here. This is gonna be San Diego proper, downtown San Diego. This is where the airport is. And now San Marcos is gonna be located right here in North County, San Diego. And just so you guys know, if you need to go to downtown San Diego or you gotta hit the airport a couple times a month or a few times a year, it's going to take you about 45 minutes to an hour depending on traffic to get down there. So it's really going to depend because traffic here is very, very unpredictable. So just keep that in mind with the commutes. But let's take a deep dive into San Marcos because I want to make you guys kind of feel like a local and get a lot better of a perspective over here because San Marcos really isn't a huge area. It does have a lot of different neighborhoods and, different sections to it. So I just want to break that down. But first off, it's not going to take you long to drive to one end to the other San Marcos, maybe 20 minutes with traffic. Let's say you want to go from the southwest corner all the way up to the northeast corner. Let's say you want to go golfing at Twin Oaks Golf Course. That's going to take you probably 20, 25 minutes as well. So not a huge area, but let's just drop you right into the downtown area of San Diego. And you guys are going to be pretty surprised because there's a lot changing here in San Marcos, and it's about darn time that they did this because growing up here, they didn't have a lot of things to do when it comes to, nightlife and just having like a proper downtown area. So right here, we're going to just drop straight into it, and we're going to drop right at San Marcos Boulevard, which is going to be this guy right here. And what I'm going to do is actually throw this little guy right out onto the street. Boom, bada bing. All right, we're now on San Marcos Boulevard, and I'm going to do you guys one better. Let's get in the car and let me show you this. All right, so this is going to be San Marcos Boulevard, which is really your downtown area. It's very central right here, but the downtown area is really spread out about a mile and a half where you're going to have just a ton of different restaurants. You're not going to have a lot of nightlife here. You have a few bars that are open a little later, but it's a pretty sleepy area. Now, this will get pretty congested in the daytime over here. You can expect some traffic. But besides that, it's just going to be a lot of strip malls. A lot of these strip malls are kind of outdated, being refurbished. Right over here on the right, you got the movie theater. So if you want to go to Edwards Cinema and catch a movie, that's going to be your spot. But overall, as far as shopping goes, you are going to have retail, you're going to have salons, you're going to have all that typical stuff over here. But as far as grocery stores go, you're not going to have a Trader Joe's. You are going to have a Costco right on this road. You're also going to have a Sprouts, which is similar to a Whole Foods, but no Whole Foods. So maybe sometime in the future they will add that. But that's kind of the vibe over in this area as far as the downtown goes, but I want to show you one other area. Now, I wanted to show you an area that you're really going to want to know about because this is going to be the real downtown San Marcos. Now, right behind me, you have Cal State San Marcos, which is a big college, and then right where I'm at right now is going to be North city. They're about to dump $2 billion into this area, so it's gonna expand and it's gonna be kind of like a work, live, play lifestyle. Now, they already kind of have that over here. You got a bunch of shops, you got some restaurants, you got a Buena Forchetta actually right behind me right there, which is really, really good. Check that Italian place out. But you also have a ton of empty retail right here. So this place is gonna get pretty busy in the future. And like I said, finally, there is going to be a downtown area in San Marcos. So pretty darn cool. And not to mention, right across the street, I don't know if you could see that up on the hill, there's a bunch of tractors up there. They're actually doing about 600 homes over there. So you're gonna have condos, you're gonna have single family, and Shay and Lennar are gonna be building those, but we're probably not gonna see any of those pop up for at least another year. But reach out if you have questions on that. So this is an area that you're really gonna wanna pay attention to, and something that's coming to San Marcos. All right, so now you guys know that San Marcos might be lacking a little bit of a nightlife, and also it doesn't have much of a downtown feel, but that could be changing in the future, as you guys now know. But the thing I want to let you know is there is a trade-off. So I do have some good news, and if you're anything like me and you love the outdoors, well, this is going to be a great trade-off because the outdoor amenities here are amazing in San Marcos. First off, the weather is usually perfect out, and the best part is it's usually always sunny. If you're a guy like me and you live over in Oceanside, we get a lot of that June gloom, May gray. It gets kind of hazy over there. Sometimes it burns off. But year-round, it usually burns off right around Vista, and you got nothing but sun. So that's a huge pro, in my opinion. When you live in San Marcos, you're going to have a ton of sunshine, so you can utilize this outdoor stuff. And not to mention, it's all in your backyard. So even if it's not in your neighborhood and you don't have these trails right there, you're probably only going to be a 5-minute drive to get access to these. Now, I'm going to show you a few points of interest where you're really going to want to know if you value the outdoors and like that recreational stuff. Well, we'll start down here in the south first, and one I want to hit, it's just outside of San Marcos, still considered San Marcos, is going to be Elfin Forest. We go out there pretty often. It has a great hike where you can do some switchbacks. It's a little challenging, and you climb some good elevation. Not to mention, you got a really pretty scenery down there where you got some rivers, and it just doesn't feel like you're 30 minutes from the beach when you are. So it's really cool. That's something to definitely check out. In a lot of these neighborhoods, which I won't really dive into this too much right now, you have trails in a lot of these neighborhoods. Like San Elijo Hills, you can literally walk to the end of your block and you're going to have access to miles and miles of trails, which is awesome. Not to mention, you head right over here to Lake San Marcos, get some fishing done, pull out the fishing poles, you can go with the kiddos, and check this place out because it is a lot of fun if you want to go catch some bass and do stand-up paddleboarding, take out a pontoon boat. You have plenty of options over here, so super, super cool. Not to mention, you have big parks all over the place in San Marcos, and if you don't have one in your neighborhood, you're going to be really, really close to one. Now, the next thing I kind of want to show you too is going to be right here. You have a really good hike up here at Double Peak, really good views. If you want to go catch a sunset, head up there. You got a great sunset. And also, this one's new. This is going to be South Lake Park. They just opened this up, and I haven't even been there yet, so I wanted to check it out for myself. All right, so we just got down from the parking lot over here at the South Lake Park. Now, this place is kind of brand new. And when I say that is, this reservoir right here, this has been here forever. You just couldn't publicly get here before. How do I know that? Well, when I was a little rascal back in the day, me and my friends would hop this fence, and of course, we'd come fishing here and we'd get some bass. So it was a lot of fun. But in the past, I would say this is probably 6 months old. So they finally built trails around it and made it walkable, and it's really cool to see that. The parking lot up there, that wasn't there before. The trails wasn't here before. So now you can actually come here and you can publicly fish, you can walk your dog here, you can do whatever you want, which is pretty darn cool. Now, it's really funny because I was just in the parking lot, I heard these two moms talking, and the lady goes,
"Oh my gosh, I didn't even know this was here. I live 10 minutes away."
So it's really funny to see that stuff. There's so much to do over here, and yet a lot of people don't know that stuff. So that's what I'm doing for you guys, is trying to give you that local perspective and show you guys what there is to do and what there is to utilize here, especially if you like the outdoors. Now, let's go to one more spot that I want to show you. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to also show you this spot. Now, right here, back in the day, this bridge wasn't here about a year and a half ago, and it used to flood so bad in this creek right in here, all the way through to Villa Vera Cruz. So I remember back in the day going to high school, if this was flooded right here on Bent Avenue, you would have to go all the way around, and that would add like 10 minutes to what should have only been a 30-second drive. But they have two new bridges that they built to kind of help subside the overflow of water when it happens. Now, it hasn't really flooded down here in a long time, and as you guys can see, they're doing a lot of work, but that's what I wanted to show you. Is this is going to be called the San Marcos Creek right here, and this is going to be miles of trails, whether you want to go on your bike or you want to go walking, and they're actually going to keep the preserve over there and build a couple lookouts and stuff so you can kind of take all that in. So it's really cool to see that. Not to mention, what do you know, it's right outside of some communities, which is awesome. That's gonna be Park Circle right across the street. And then even that that lake that I just showed you before this, that was right outside of a community as well, where those people can literally walk out and have that right in their backyard. So many different communities here, and depending on what you want, you're gonna have something. So that's why it's so important that you guys reach out. Don't get confused with all these communities. We can hop on a Zoom and kind of break it down and make it very easy for you guys to understand. Now, who is living in San Marcos? I mean, you got a population of about 85,000 people, and I think we're gonna start to see that population grow. So who is it living there? Is it all retired people? Is it people that are having families? Is it a bunch of youngsters that go to college? I mean, you got 2 colleges there. Well, my perspective is it's every single walk of life, and that's my favorite part about it. But when you really dive into the data and you look at the median age, it's anywhere from about 35 to 45 years old. And this makes a ton of sense. And let me tell you why. It has a lot to do with prices. And if you're having kids, you've heard me say this a million times in my other videos, that San Marcos is hands down the best bang for your buck. You got one of the top rated school districts in all of San Diego. I believe it's rated number 5. So as far as bang for your buck goes, this is gonna be great. Even if you don't have kids yet or you're planning on having them, this is gonna be a good spot because you can find condos starting at about $500,000, and you can find single family detached homes starting right at about $650,000, maybe $700,000. So if you're young, you can still get in over here. So you have a ton of young professionals, you have a ton of families that are starting families or just growing families because you got some really good price point, but you also have a lot of people retiring here because A, the weather is awesome, so people are relocating here from other parts of the country, and you also have just laid back vibes in some of these areas too, where you have golf courses, you're close to the beach, you're only 25 minutes from the ocean, so there's a lot of people retiring here, so it just makes a lot of sense. So now you might be thinking, okay, I'm liking what I'm hearing, but where the heck do I live in San Marcos? Well, that's a great question because there is so many different neighborhoods in San Marcos, and it's really going to depend on where you're at in your life because some of these neighborhoods are going to be a lot better than the other ones for you, but it's really going to depend on who you are and, like I said, where you're at in your life. So that's why it's so important that you guys reach out to us so we can help just figure out which area is going to be the right one for you. And it just takes a conversation. So make sure you reach out. We know these areas like the back of our hand. And once we find out what you like and what you don't like and all that stuff, we can really get you into the right areas or give you a short list of some areas that are going to work better than the others. So our info is down below, and we love helping you guys, but we can't help unless you guys reach out. So shoot us a text, shoot us an email, or just straight up call us, and we look forward to helping you. Now, let's break down a couple of these sections and these neighborhoods real quick that you're really going to want to know. And these are going to be some of the more asked about neighborhoods and some that people want to know about. So let's break it down real quick. There's going to be the north side of San Marcos, which is going to be north of the Interstate 78 right here. So you're going to have a few different neighborhoods, and the great part about San Marcos is you have a lot of newer construction. You got a lot of new construction happening now, and you also have newer homes, which a lot of people love. And you also have some homes that were built in the 70s and 80s, more custom, different vibe to them. So really cool, but let's start off up here because if you are a golf person and you want to live on a golf course, well, you can have that. Twin Oaks Golf Course is going to be right here. And right around this zone right here, you're going to have some golf course homes. So you're going to have that back in there. It's going to be more of a, HOA community and things like that. Not to mention over here in Richland, this is a really nice price point area. You can still find single family homes for about 7 to 800,000 over here. So that is really, really good. They're going to be smaller homes, less than 2,000 square feet, but you can definitely find this in this Richland area. Now we're going to move just a little to the west, and you have Santa Fe Hills. This is a great area because you have a ton of walking trails all throughout. You have homes that were built in the 80s and 90s. This is going to be right behind Palomar College. And also, if you're looking for a new construction home, you're going to have plenty of options just right back here. You have a new community that's being built, half by KB Homes and the other half by Lennar. And And I've actually done a full tour on these homes over here, but these are awesome to look at, especially if you want that new construction, because here in San Diego, we don't have enough new construction. In San Marcos, they have some room still where they're building, but who knows? And I'll tell you right now, probably between these two communities, there's over, let's see, probably 300 homes being built back here, and they're more than halfway sold already. So these are going really quick, some really beautiful homes, but these are starting at right about $1 million. But you will have some single story options back there as well, which is great. So make sure you look at the video where we do a tour on that, or just reach out. We're happy to help guide you into these areas and help you figure it out. Now that we kind of touch base on the northern part, one thing I do want to say is it does have a bit more of a rural feeling up here if you like that. It's a little bit more spread out. It's going to take you a little bit longer to get to shopping centers and things like that. But like I said, you have plenty of giant shopping centers throughout San Marcos, so you're never going to be more than 10 minutes away from a big shopping center. Now, let's move down to the south of the 78 over here. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, in my opinion, down south of the 78, but you're going to have some really sought-after areas like Discovery Hills right here is very sought after. You're really close to some schools. San Marcos High School is only going to be about a 5-minute drive. Now, this is going to be the type of neighborhood where you have a ton of families. Not a lot of retired people living back here, so if you have kids or you're going to have kids soon, this is going to be a great zone to look into, and you have a ton of trails just right in your backyard right here, which is great. And you have Discovery Lake, which is pretty cool. You can't really, I don't think you can do any fishing in there anymore, but it's great if you want to hike around and just go see the lake. And, just know that with these neighborhoods, because like I said, it can change. You could be in a very family-oriented neighborhood, and then you could go right next door to an area just like Lake San Marcos. This is where you're going to have a lot of people retiring, a lot of retired older people, which is great. I mean, I'm a young gun, and I could picture myself living in Lake San Marcos now. It's just my lifestyle. You have golf courses in there. You have 2 golf courses. You have the Executive, which is a smaller golf course, and then you have the full course. But if you want a house on a golf course, this is going to be a great area to look into as well. All single-story homes, which is great if you're, don't want 2 stories. So, those are just some differences that you'll find. A lot of families in Discovery. So if you want to meet people and walk around and have some walkability, Discovery is going to be a great place for you. If you're older, you like to golf, you also have a great restaurant in here called Amalfi. You got a bar as well. You like that type of stuff? You want to hop on your golf cart and cruise around too? Lake San Marcos is going to be your spot. So you have a lot of neighborhoods over here as well, kind of some older neighborhoods built in the 70s. And then right below, I'm going to take you to one that everybody loves. This is an award-winning master plan community, and San Elijo Hills is going to be the name of this one. And this is a one-stop shop. I'm talking, you don't even need to leave this place because you have a grocery store in there, you have a town center where you have some restaurants, some retail, you got a brewery in there, and you have parks galore. I'm talking dog parks, mountain bike trails. You have everything you could need just right there in San Elijo. So houses in there are going to be a little bit more expensive. They're going to start at, a single family home, a detached home is going to be about 1.2 and higher. And then if you want a condo or a townhome, you can find stuff in there for like $650. So this is a great place, especially if you have kids. You got 2 schools in there. Actually, you have 3 schools. You have a K through 8 at the top. Just be careful in here because they're zoned differently. So if you want your kids to go to like San Elijo Middle School or San Elijo Elementary, make sure that you're in the lower section. I don't want to break that down too much, but just make sure you're paying attention to that stuff because that can make or break where you're moving. But like I said, you got 3 schools in there, so it's great. Your kids can walk to school or e-bike to school, carpool, whatever. These are going to be some really, really great areas. At the end of the day, San Marcos seems to be a place that people absolutely love living in, and the future is looking pretty darn bright for San Marcos as well. Now, I don't know what you guys are thinking, if San Marcos is still a good fit for you, or maybe it's not, now you're looking somewhere else in San Diego. Either way, we would love to be a resource for you here and help you figure out which area is going to be best for you and just help you make a smooth move. But we can't help you unless you guys reach out. So feel free to reach out. Our contact info is down below. Shoot us a text, shoot us an email, or just straight up give us a call. And I'm also really curious to know what you guys think about San Marcos. Maybe you live here now, or maybe you've lived here in the past. Let me know down in the comments below, and make sure you take a look at some of these videos right here because I have a feeling they will be extremely helpful.